what's the fondest memory you have of your very first steps in the world of music? I mean, starting from your very first band.
That's easy, but it's not my first band. The very second I fell in love with singing, I was already in love with music. I've always been in love with music. But I was the lead singer in my church choir when I was 8. And we had a Christmas mass. And it was like 11 o'clock at night. The snow was piling down. This was in Canada. The church was packed with people. And the sopranos, and we fucking sang that shit. It was so glorious. This was an all-male choir, baritone, tenor, alto, soprano. I was 8. And when we hit that fucking harmony, it was like, you know, the whole city was all singing in unison. It was the most glorious. I knew right then I was going to be a singer, just from the way the music felt in the church. Yeah. So check out my new record, Give 'Em Hell.
That's appropriate. Yeah, and then you joined Skid Row in 1987.
Yes.
And there's something I didn't know, that you had been spotted by them while
Yes.
you were singing at Mark Wade's wedding?
Yes.
What were you doing there?
I was in a band called Madam X, and we went to Mark Weiss's wedding. And this was so long ago. This was before Zakk Wylde ever drank alcohol. Because he was there. I was about 18 years old or something. And
I thought you were younger than that.
No, I was about something like that,
Something
maybe
like that,
17.
Yeah.
And I was drinking Jack Daniels, and Zakk Wylde was there. His name was Jeff Wylde. There was no Zach. I go, hey, you want a drink? And he goes, no thanks, I don't drink. Zakk Wylde! Zakk Wylde! So now we both don't drink. So that's kind of crazy, but that was a long time ago.
He doesn't drink at all?
No.
I remember you used to drink wine. You used to like wine.
Yes,
Do you still? No? You don't like any wine at all?
No.
Oh.
I just want to be doing this for a long time. Yeah. You know, that's really the reason.
Yeah, that's a good thing, definitely. And then you had The Last Hard Man in 1996.
Do we have to talk about that?
We can.
That was an interesting experiment to see if the worlds of alternative and heavy metal could combine. And the answer is no, they cannot. There's one good song in there, like Sleep. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, but it's interesting when you read about your career. You've done so many different things, and everything happened, I think, for a reason.
Fuck yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
it's totally true.
The way you've done everything. I mean,
totally
your career
true.
with Skid Row, I don't even want to go there because I think
it's okay.
Everybody knows.
That's okay.
What there is to know about Skid Row, you know.
I don't understand like the term art imitates life. It fits me to a glove. When I was 18, Youth Gone Wild. It was a fucking Youth Gone Wild. Before that, Kid Wicked was my band when I was 16 in Toronto, and I was Kid Wicked. Then Jekyll and Hyde. I was Jekyll and Hyde. I am fucking Jekyll and Hyde. Then my dad dies, and I do Jesus Christ Superstar, which is a play about Jesus singing to his Father in heaven. So it's like that happened, you know? Yeah. Then Kicking and Screaming, Angel Down, Give 'Em Hell, they're all very parallel to my life experience.
Yeah, but how did your debut to a Broadway plays happen?
The guy that signed Skid Row, Jason Flom, Atlantic Records, put out Frank Wildhorn's CDs, the composer who wrote Jekyll and Hyde. And Frank Wildhorn went to Jason Flom and said, I want a rock star to play Jekyll and Hyde. And Jason said, Sebastian Bach. And he called me at my house. He goes, hey, I heard the answering machine. Hey, it's Jason. You know, you're going to think this is really weird. but I was wondering maybe if you'd want to do a Broadway show. And I picked up the phone. I go, "Do you have the right phone number?" But it ended up being a lot of fun, and I've actually recently been very close to doing something like that again.
Again?
Different place, but that'll happen again someday. When I'm singing on Broadway, I don't ever have to shout over the band. Sometimes in heavy metal, it's so loud that I find myself wanting it to not be so loud, so I don't have to yell or shout, because when I sing, it's a different sound in my voice than yelling. It's on my records, there's no yelling, there's no shouting, it's all fucking precise singing. So on the Broadway stage, it's more about the voice, you know.
But you know, rock and roll needs that energy.
Well, no, I'm not complaining. I'm saying specifically as a singer, I don't like. When I tell you I don't like playing clubs, the reason is, if I'm singing, I don't want to be 1 foot away from the drum kit. Drum kit, and I remember you. I don't. That's the way it sounds. I don't want to yell. I don't want to shout. I know I'm a diva. but the reason I prefer a bigger stage is because of the separation of the instruments. It's more easy to hear things.
What about your involvement with Velvet Revolver?
I recorded 5 songs in the studio with those guys. But I was doing Jesus Christ Superstar, and I was getting paid to be in the play. And I had to choose to either not do the play or do... Yeah, I didn't have the gig or anything, but I went on the road, and they didn't want to wait around for me. So I'm not saying I would have been the singer, but I bet you if I was, I would still be with them.
Yeah, but you know what? You know why I'm asking that? Because when I talk to people, you know, they all say, you know, Sebastian Bach would be the perfect singer for Velvet Revolver. Even now, you know, they don't have a singer for years. You know?
Well, I am happy to have Duff on my record.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the same.
You had Axel on your record.
Yeah.
Before Chinese Democracy.
I know.
I think that was a huge thing.
Yes, that was a
huge.
Big deal. Yeah.
Nobody had heard anything of Axel for 10 years.
I don't know how that happened.
Yeah.
My record company that put out Angel Down wanted to release 2 versions of it, one with Axel and one without, because they couldn't believe that legally and stuff that we could do that. I said, fuck you. I go, this is my fucking album. There's one version. Don't ever ask me that again. He's on the fucking record. People couldn't believe that there's no way we can put this out. I go, this is my record. Put the fucking record out. All the businessmen couldn't believe that he was the lead singer with me on it.
But I think a lot of people are scared.
Well, he has a intense personality. You know, a lot of people in the music industry or whatever rap say, "Oh, I don't give a fuck." Axel really doesn't give a fuck.
That's a good.
Like not even one bit of a fuck. Not even one tiny little fuck is given.
You are kind of the same.
No, I'm not. No, I here. It's just all about passion.
Yeah.
He. You know what he gives a fuck about is his music and his performance. That's what he does give a fuck about. Being famous or being a celebrity, he doesn't care about those things. He doesn't aspire to be on TMZ or a celebrity. He has too much of that. You know?
But he's never on TV.
He doesn't want to be. He just wants to sing, play rock and roll.
And you joined him on stage in 2006, right? For the first time. I mean, after with the new lineup of Guns N' Roses. And then you joined him a lot of times. I saw you at Download, Metal, many occasions.
We were friends. Yeah, we still are. Yeah.
You're still close to him.
Yeah, we text each other about ridiculous subjects. The last thing he texted me about was some giraffes in fucking Holland or something in the zoo that were dying or something.
Oh yeah.
That's what he was like. This is
Yeah, actually he made it possible.
Oh,
Sure.
right. Yeah. Okay.
You know, sometimes he's quiet for a while.
He likes
and then
animals.
Yeah.
He likes animals.
Yeah. And Kicking and Screaming, your album that came out in 2011. I mean, a lot of people thought it was a great album from Europe back at the time. I think the same. How do you look back at that album now that you have a new one now?
You only have one time around this world. I consider myself so lucky to be making CDs in 2014. I want to thank my record company, Frontiers Records, for holding me to deadlines and actually giving me a kick in the ass saying, dude, we want a new record from you right now. And I'm like, what? Oh my God. Because I'm very critical of myself, and it takes a long time for me to want to put my name on a record, like 12 brand new songs that have to be as good as Monkey Business, you know what I mean? So, and I don't take it lightly. And I want to thank Serafino and everybody at Frontiers for wanting my record. Like, it's great. When I listen to it, it's so much time and effort and emotion put into it. And I consider myself so lucky. I consider myself really lucky. Whenever I go on Blabbermouth, every musician says, there's no more records. The record is done. We're going to release a single. We're going to have an EP. I don't give a shit about putting out a single. I'm not interested in EPs. I like albums. I like full albums. That's what I like.
The old-fashioned way.
Well, I mean, lots of bands, like the new Black Sabbath, great album. Van Halen, Different Kind of Truth, great album. I want to make as many albums as I can while I still can.
Yeah, it's interesting that you said that sometimes you go on Blabbermouth. You like to read what people think.
I don't know. I never read the comments. No.
You never read them?
No. Every comment for me is like, you look like a girl. Every single one. And I'm like, I'm a 6'4" fucking man. Like, I'm this huge guy that looks like a girl. I've heard that all my life. Well, I think it becomes really stupid when people film the concert on their phone and then comment that the phone doesn't sound like the record. I'm like, we don't make records on phones. Did you know that? Like, we make them in recording studios. Spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. We don't hold up the phone and make the record. Like, taking your phone out in the front row of a concert and holding it up in the air and expecting it to sound like the record is like crazy. It's like,
yeah, it's crazy.
It takes all the fun out of it.
But also listening to that record. You put out an album, you put so much passion and effort into making an album, and then nowadays people listen to it in their iPods, in their cars, and what.
There's actually good news on that. Neil Young just invented this thing, Pono, that is full studio quality sound in your hand, in your device, and I'm getting that as soon as I can.
As soon as you can.
Yeah, but also you can put WAV files like in your phone. It hogs up all the melody, all the memory, but you can put high quality files in there.
But you still like to put out vinyl.
I like the packaging. Yeah.
I have a few versions of Kicking and Screaming with the vinyl.
Cool.
I still like that, and I guess a lot of old fans.
Well, the sound of a record is so much warmer. Like in your living room, big old speakers or whatever, you put on an album, it sounds different than a CD.
You still listen to albums by like newer bands?
Newer bands.
I remember when you were writing songs with James Jasta from April.
Yeah.
That was a very interesting combination.
Well, as much as I love Hatebreed and super duper heavy metal, my voice, I need to sing ballads sometimes. Yeah. My voice suits poppier music than, you know, maybe I listen to Hate Breed. But just me singing in that style is not Sebastian Bach. That's not what I do. Yeah.
But you already did something similar when Subhuman Race came out with Skid Row. It was a nice combination of, you know, melodic singing, your trademark voice with heavy guitars and a modern sound.
That's a great album. That's a great album. But honestly, I prefer
maybe underrated.
I prefer the sound of the vocals with Bob Marlette's production. Than that album. But that's a great album. As I said before, there's no rules when you make a record. Like, you got to come out of there with this magic. And how do you get to that point? You know, I just know all my albums are great except for The Last Hard Men. But other than that, I'm very consistent with my records.
Yeah. And in August 2011, this is of course maybe doesn't bring nice memories, but your house was damaged by the Hurricane Irene, and you moved to LA back then, right? So how are you liking it here?
Well, I'm in love with a very beautiful, kind, smart woman whose name's Minnie. Hi!
Hi, Minnie.
So I love being with her. And
you hate the traffic?
Well, I hated the traffic today, but if you're going to start over in life, Beverly Hills, California is a good place to do that.
Definitely. But also you can jam more here, maybe you can, You know,
here's one thing that is very true. There's a culture in LA of health that I didn't ever know about. In New York City, New Jersey, where I lived, I would go out every night in Manhattan if I would go out. And I didn't know anybody that didn't drink in Manhattan. Maybe I was hanging out with the wrong people or something, but all I know from Manhattan, New York City, going out and drinking. In LA, that's almost like not cool. Like, in LA, it's cool to be healthy and get juice cleanses and fucking vitamin shots and stuff like that. Stuff that I never knew about.
Also the food.
The food's great, but you know one thing, I get seasonal affective disorder, not defective. Seasonal affective disorder when I am in the snow in the winter for month after month after month. I become out of shape and sad and fucking depressed. And when I'm in the snow in the winter for like 3 or 4 months, my only happiness I get is getting a fire going. Like chopping wood and getting a fucking huge fire going and sitting on the couch. What the fuck? Like, I don't want to sit around. In LA, I go running every day. Look at this. It's beautiful. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. It's just a beautiful place to be, and you know the people back east will say, "Oh yeah, well you get earthquakes," and then the quote I read today on Twitter was, "I'd rather shake than shiver. I'll take the earthquakes over the winter."
Yeah, but music-wise, also, do you find it inspiring to be surrounded by all these musicians that they
I don't really look at other musicians when I'm making my music because I don't want to sound like anybody else. I just want it to be like my style. And when I say that I work on it for a year, I really do. Like I put it on my iPhone in a playlist, all the music I'm working on, and every day, like I'll go running or whatever, I listen to it, and then the ideas start happening. Then I'll rearrange what order they're in and put the new versions in, and this is like a year-long process till we get to Give 'Em Hell, and it's fun. Like it's fun. Nobody can take away the pride you get from making something that you're very proud of. Nobody can take that away.
And then performing this song.
Hey, Keith, what are you fucking doing? Oh, noon! I said that on Twitter once, and I spelled the word no one as one word, and I made it all capitals. Noon can take it away. Noon. Only Peter Noon from Herman's Hermits.
What's the biggest misconception about Sebastian Bach?
Well, it's not me specifically. Some of these musicians, like guitar players, bass players, they like to throw around this term, lead singer's disease, of which I have a terminal case.
Lead singer disease.
Haven't you heard guys say that? Oh, he's got lead singer's disease. Yeah, you got fucking lead guitar player disease. Okay? You got fucking drummer disease. Alright? People will say that lead singers are hard to work with or a diva. The thing is...
I mean, some of them are.
Well, no, but the thing is, you can't restring this instrument. You play guitar, you break a string, you get another string. You play the drums, you break your drumsticks, you get another stick. You fucking break this, you can't get another one. And nobody can tell the singer how to sing. So this is frustrating.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, yeah.
For drummers, the guitar players.
Yeah.
So the misconception about me, or maybe other lead singers, he's hard to work with. If something sucks, I am impossible to work with. I get down. If something's great and I feel passionate about it, I'm the happiest guy you'll ever meet. When I hear the music come over the speakers that I want to hear, I love it. I love it. But getting to that point is hard to get to that point.
I mean, we can say that we had fun working with you today, so you're not difficult.
Well, because you know why? Because you showed me what the shots look like, and I went cool, and then I'm into it.
Yeah.
If something sucks, I'm not into it.
Yeah, sure. Like with everything else.
Well, I mean, people know about my old band, right? When I heard the song 18 in Life, that was easy to work with. No problem. That one's done. Keeper, that's good. Great tune. Next. A couple years later, not so much. Not really feeling this one. You're a dick. No, this isn't fucking 18 in Life. If I'm the guy to tell you that, I'm sorry. But I can't pretend when I sing.
You can fake it.
That's 100% right. If I feel it in my heart, the fans will feel it. And I'm not going to fucking pretend or rip anybody off. I'm not going to lie to the people that listen to me. If I say in an interview, I love this album, give them hell, I fucking really do love it. I really do love it. I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm trying to say, if you like the records I've already put out, you're going to fucking dig this album. Yeah, that's the truth.